been a bit of a wait, but Hero MotoCorp has finally launched its first ever electric product. This is the Vida V1 and we are at Hero MotoCorp's own testing grounds near Jaipur to get a little taste of this electric scooter. Vida is the name of the new sub-brand under which Hero MotoCorp will launch EVs in the country, and the V1 electric scooter is the first such product to go on sale. Hero MotoCorp has in fact taken its own sweet time to study the electric scooter space, which has been flooded with products across price brackets, and Hero MotoCorp is clear about eyeing the premium end with the Vida V1. The design language here is absolutely new, with no relevance at all to any of Hero MotoCorp's previous scooters. And my first impressions here in terms of the design are that this scooter looks and feels very premium, and in fact it also has a very distinctive European vibe about it. The Vida V1 thus looks very different from most scooters in the country, be it petrol powered ones or electric ones, and having said that, the V1's distinctiveness is sure to help it stand out. The front end and particularly the headlamp design even reminded me of some of BMW Motorrad scooters sold in Europe. More importantly, the V1 is well proportioned and is comparable to most full-size petrol-powered scooters when it comes to the dimensions. There are a few unique design cues as well, like the seats which are one piece but split, and this could be to create a single-seat version that may be launched in the future. Overall, the design language is sharp with lots of cuts, but despite its modernness, the V1 looks very conventional too, which is yet another positive in my books. There's two variants on offer, the V1 Plus and the V1 Pro, and obviously there's a difference between the battery packs because the Plus uses a 3.44 kWh battery pack while the Pro uses a 3.94 kWh battery pack, and that results in a difference between the acceleration times and the range per charge as well. Both scooters use the same electric motor though, with a peak power output of 6 kW while continuous output is rated at 3.9 kW. 0 to 80% charging time for the Pro is just under 6 hours using a home charger and 5 hours and 15 minutes for the Plus, given that the latter uses a smaller battery. That said, there's a lot the two scooters have in common, not just visually but mechanically as well, and in fact, apart from the badging, you really can't tell the Plus and Pro apart from each other. So while the V1 Plus can accelerate from 0 to 40 km per hour in 3.4 seconds, the Pro can do it in 3.2 seconds. You also get the same riding modes on both variants, and depending on the mode chosen and of course your riding style, you can get up to 120 km per charge in the real world, which sounds quite good. For the record, claimed range per charge as per the IDC or Indian driving cycle for the V1 Plus is 143 km and 165 km for the V1 Pro. We rode the V1 at Hero MotoCorp's high-speed test track, which allowed us to try full-bore acceleration and high-speed runs. It feels quick to dart to 40 kmph, and I managed to hit 85 kmph on the speedometer, which is in the same region as petrol-powered scooters. What I also found impressive is the V1's throttle response, which is very smooth and progressive and is comparable to that of a very refined petrol engine, given the precise throttle control. You get 3 modes on the V1 which alter throttle response, in addition to which you also get a boost mode to help when overtaking other vehicles. The Vida V1 is loaded with features as you would expect, and what you get here is an electronic key fob for keyless access, a 7-inch TFT display with excellent touch sensitivity, Bluetooth connectivity, a whole lot of options, controls, and a lot more. The touchscreen instrument cluster looks crisp, and good news is, it also feels very responsive to touch inputs even with riding gloves on. The V1 is also equipped with a dedicated SOS alert switch, which when pressed will inform your emergency contacts saved in the dedicated app. Hero has also equipped the V1 with cruise control and an anti-theft system, besides connected features like geofencing, turn-by-turn navigation and bike tracking. One of the biggest highlights of this scooter have to be its swappable batteries, as they give the Vida V1 an edge over its competition. And that's because you can simply swap the used batteries for fresh ones and you don't have to wait for hours to recharge your batteries. And the other good news here is that Hero has developed these batteries in-house, which is a very reassuring factor. Each of the two battery packs weigh about 12 kg, which is relatively lighter than some of the other removable battery packs. This should help in removing the batteries and swapping them for fully charged ones, an easy affair. More importantly, removable batteries also eliminate the concern of having to set up a charging point in the parking lot of a cooperative housing society, something that is proving to be a challenge for many buyers. The batteries boast an IP67 rating, while the electric motor has an IP68 rating, which has become the industry norm to say so. We've only managed to get a few minutes of seat time on the Vida V1, that too here at the test track, which means we're yet to ride the scooter properly out in the real world. But my first impressions about its dynamics, especially the handling, are very positive because the Vida V1 feels confident, sporty and very nimble. Hero MotoCorp scooters have always impressed on the handling front, and the V1 is no different. The few laps we managed to put in at the handling circuit helped us assess the scooter's dynamics, and it feels confident around corners. The precise throttle control helps as well, especially at corner exits, which added to the scooter's sporty feel. The V1 uses a 90x90 section MRF tire at the front and a 100x80 section at the rear, both mounted onto 12-inch rims, which aid handling as well. Also helping matters is the firm suspension setup, and overall, the V1 is thus quite a sporty scooter. We did not get to assess the V1's ride quality since we only rode it at the test track, and only a test in the real world will help us assess the scooter on that front. The V1 Plus retails at Rs 1.45 lakh ex-showroom, while the Pro retails at Rs 1.59 lakh ex-showroom. Now on the face of it, this pricing might sound expensive, but fact is that the Vida V1's pricing is in the same league as a lot of other premium electric scooters like the Ola S1, the Ather 450X, the TVS iQube and the Bajaj Chetak as well. And then there's the fact that the Vida V1 looks good and feels engaging to ride, which is what a lot of premium scooter buyers would look for. So overall, as a package and in terms of what this one brings to the table, the Vida V1 is certainly very impressive as Hero MotoCorp's first ever electric product.